Hey there, everybody. Welcome. April 3rd. We are past April Fool's Day, so I don't have to make those stupid jokes anymore. We are going into the month of April. I know back here a month ago when we began this live every morning at 8 program, we said we'll do it through March and then we'll see. And we're going to continue through April because Bill feels like it. There might be a couple of days we miss a little bit later in April. I'm going to be out of town for a couple of days, the middle of the month. But anyway, that's not here nor there. What is here nor there, here and there, is download this 5 reasons you don't have enough clients. I know. Every day, Bill, you're talking about this. Go to 5reasonsclients.com. Let's see if I can successfully pull up. No, that's not it. That's another one. You shouldn't have seen that one. 5reasonsclients.com, 5reasonsclients.com. Lots of good stuff in there. In fact, the things that I'm going to be talking about today, 80% of them are in here. So if you like what this is about today, then you will like that. Okay. The topic today is increasing revenue, to which you would say, well, Bill, isn't every day increasing revenue day? It is, but we take slightly different paths depending upon the kind of client we have. You probably know this by now. Typically, I've got 2 different clients in my world. One kind of client is a professional salesperson who's already a high achiever who wants to get to the next level. I call that the high achiever mentoring group. It's a program, a small group coaching cohort. I also have my corporate work, which is I go into a company and I'll spend 6 months to a year with them and I coach their people and we do group training. And I had a conversation last week with a new member of one of these corporate accounts, and the really sharp young guy, probably 30-ish, and already good at what he does, but he wants to get to the next level. And as I heard him speaking, I heard some of the problems, and the problem was not due to a lack of knowledge or lack of ambition at all. And so when I hear these things, I make notes because I know exactly after one conversation, I know exactly where I want to take people and where we're starting from in many ways. So let me give you my premise for all the work that I do. And this will work for you. And if you're a sales leader, you can also use this with your people as well. And that is this. I believe that we all have infinite intelligence available to us. We all know what to do. We have really good intuition. We know when we should be doing something, but we don't do it for other reasons. But we have this river of potential. Deepak Chopra used to call it the pure potentiality. We have this river running through us of pure potential, and yet we don't use it. We don't tap into that river. And so I think there are 3 things that block us. And if we take away the blocks so that we can access this magic, and again, I think we all have it. Sometimes it's covered over by years of baggage and garbage, but we all have it. And so let's talk about what blocks us. Number 1, I think one of the big blocks is attachment to yeses, attachment to deals, attachment to approval. We want people to clap when we walk into the room. I mean, not literally, but figuratively we do. I know I'm guilty of that sometimes. Like, hey, where's the applause? You don't know who you're dealing with here. And then I realize they don't know who they're dealing with here. That's probably why they're not applauding. But we get attached. And when you get attached to a yes, let's just take it into the sales realm here. When you get attached to a yes, do you know how that dictates your behavior all the way through? Do you realize how that attachment to a yes at the end, and I know some of you are in long selling cycles, some of you shorter, but when you are attached, when you really are driving for that yes at the end, do you realize how that screws up your behavior throughout the sales process? Oh, no, Bill, no, it doesn't, because I can temper that. No, you can't. You think you do, but it shines through. It's a vibe that people get from you. And it's why your closing rates are low. So I say detach. Don't attach to the driven outcome that you want, the yes or whatever that is. Detach from that and focus on the process. Focus on bringing value to that person. Focus on serving them by asking them the questions that actually, those questions that you will ask them will help you get to the end result quicker anyway. But we don't ask all the questions we need to ask because we're driving for the close. We're driving for the yes, not knowing that that very driving is keeping us from the yes. It's the damnedest thing, isn't it? Number two, operating from fear. We've got to get out of that operating from fear. And I see this. I saw this with my new coaching client, a new company last week, is that everything he did as he was telling me felt like it came from anxiety and from fear and from proving himself to his manager and his boss and himself and his wife and his father and his who else knows what. There was this need to prove oneself that I heard and felt from him. Well, that's a problem. That's a problem because that's going to get in the way of you operating from a place of high intent where you are helping the customer. You're there present. You're in the present moment with them, helping them to figure out whether they have a need that you can fix or not, or have a problem that you can fix, or you're even the right person for them. But as long as you're driven and you're operating from fear, they will operate from fear because they will match you. It's pretty simple. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure this stuff out. Believe me, I figured it out, and I'm not a brain surgeon. I'm not even very smart. But I do know that psychologically, when you take fear into a relationship, what do you get back? You always get back what you put in. So I want you to put love into the buyer seller dance, serving them, understanding them, being present with them, asking the right questions, helping them to figure out what they want and what their issues are. Wouldn't that be a more joyful experience? I think so. I don't know. Maybe not. All right. I'm going to take this off because it's bugging me. Third blockage. Third blockage is this. We are out of purpose. Remember, I talked about how the river of infinite intelligence and the Shakti, or whatever you want to call it, purpose, Dharma, is deep within us. Whenever we get out of purpose, and usually we are out of purpose when our purpose is no longer to help someone else, it's what can we get out of the equation. And again, I can hear you. I can hear your mind chattering saying, Bill, but I want to make the sale, but I'm really there to help them. And okay, they can coexist. I really do believe they can coexist. But once your need to make the sale supersedes their need to get their problem solved, you are out of control. You're out of control and you don't know it. And so you're working like hell, working, running, treading on the treadmill, and you're not making progress because your purpose is out of line. Your purpose is all about you, and it should be about them. Your purpose should be to bring value to the world and charge for it. You need to charge for it, and you should charge for it. And I think you should charge probably more than you do for it. I know I should charge more than I do for it. But you have to be on purpose, be within purpose. Okay. So those are the three blockages that I think we have. I think we get attached. I think we operate from fear. And I think the third one is that we lose our purpose. We lose our way. So if you sales leaders are listening to this and you are looking for a good sales meeting topic on a Monday morning or next Monday, is why do we do this? Why do we do this business? Why are we here? Why do we produce the products we produce? Is it only about our stockholders and stakeholders? Is that it? No. It's probably not why the company was founded. But a lot of times companies get away from this. There's a big tech company right now that's gotten away from the essence of why they do what they do. And it's all about stakeholder and shareholder return. You know who it is. I've talked about it. Okay, let's change gears here for a moment. I promised you I'd give you a framework for how to achieve massive success in business-to-business sales. And I'm going to give that to you right now. All right. This is what we call the master framework. And the master framework, think of it as a vehicle. Think of it as if you want to get from point A, where you are now, current reality, to point B, where you want to get income wise, work wise, whatever that lifestyle is for you, whatever you want in the future. The vehicle that's going to get you there is this. This is the vehicle that's going to get you there. So let's talk about this really quickly and move through it. And these are all things that are working at the same time. This is not, it looks like it's linear, but the fact is you're always working on all of these things, but you're only working on 5 things. And there's several, obviously, subcomponents to this. Number one is you're working on the mindset. How should we be thinking about ourselves, about our processes, about our value? The high achiever is always working on mindset, always. How am I thinking about this? Am I thinking about this in the right way? I can tell the difference between $1 million achiever and a $20,000 achiever, and taking nothing away from the 20 grand person, but $1 million person just thinks differently, and they think about how they're thinking. They think about, okay, if I'm going to get to $2 million a year, or let's say I'm at $500,000, I want to get to $1 million, forget about what the numbers are, but they're high income. They're in the top 1, 2, 3%. The highest of those achievers will always be asking themselves a question: how am I thinking about this? Where does my thinking have to change in order for me to get to that next level? Number 2 is message. And this is something that I work on almost right out of the gate with people, because if you don't understand your message and how to communicate it, you can make 1,000 calls a day and you're not going to make progress. So get your mind right, but then very quickly on the heels of that, get your message right. And message is about how are you crafting your message of value so that when the customer hears it, they will be compelled to want to hear more. You talking about your features and benefits and how great you are is not that. They don't care about that. They don't care about your goals. They don't care about your features. They do care a little about your benefits. What they want to know is, can they connect with you as a human being and the company in a way that helps them see that they can get from where they are to where they want to be. Number 3 is marketing. Marketing is how you show up in the marketplace, how you create new discussions with people. Do you have a personal marketing plan? Excuse me. If you don't, shame on you. You should. And a personal marketing plan, by the way, is not how many calls a day are you going to make. It's not cold call. That's not a personal marketing plan. That's the old way of doing business. A personal marketing plan could include cold outreach, but it also could include referral strategies. It could also include social media strategies. It could also include speeches and platform kind of work where you're the person who people are calling in to be an expert. I've got one client right now who just joined my high achiever program. He aims to be a thought leader in his business. I might have talked about him on Friday, and he's got a plan. He's got just a little 3 or 4 part plan that's going to help him get from obscurity to being a thought leader. That's part of marketing. Number 4, methods. What are the methods you're using to bring people along, bring a prospect or a suspect along in the cycle? At any time, you might cast them aside and say, you know what, you're not a fit for me right now, or I'm not a fit for you. It's best if we go our own separate ways. But a method needs to be something you can use. It's almost like a sales map. And you're the guide, and you're helping people through this process, this method. And you have to have that buttoned up. If you don't, people will not follow you. And I want them to follow you. You need them to follow you. You don't have to be all persona and all brandy and imagey and creepy. I want them to follow you because you know how to get them from point A to point B. Okay. Number 5 is mechanics. These are the tactical things, the language. It's when you shoot a LinkedIn video, tactically and mechanically, there's a right and wrong way to do that. When you go out on a first call, There's a first call mastery that has to happen. There is a right and a wrong way to do that. Think about anything you do in your business life where there is a path. You can either do it the right way or just wing it. And that's where mechanics come in. So things like shooting video, shooting YouTube video, what's your cadence? Once someone downloads something from you, what is your cadence of emails that has to happen? All those things are what I call mechanics, but they are important. So we got mindset. Just back up here. We got mindset. We got message. We got marketing. We got methods, sales process, and we have mechanics. And if you do those 5 things, you get really good at those 5 things. And as I said, several of those are in here, not an exhaustive look at them, but some of the reason you don't have enough clients because you're not doing this. So I hope that helps today. Bang, did I hit the microphone? If you want to download that, you're welcome to 5reasons.com, 5reasonsclients.com. And you can get access to that immediately. Let's see if we have any comments. Sometimes I can see comments, sometimes I can't. I can't see the comments today, but I know we have a good crowd on hand. We're going on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook in the Going Pro group on Facebook. Anyway, hope you have an awesome day. I will see you